gets it here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on Passive.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. Today is March 16th, 2021. My name is Julie. I am coming to you from Newport Coast, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, could you please say hello?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you, Milo. Milo, yesterday we had such a great day talking to a doctor that over a network of thousands of doctors in all over the world. And he is one of our founder. Every single day we are sitting down talking together with founders across the world. And we feel that we are most blessed people. Today in our holding room, we do have a founder that comes across from Germany. Would you please introduce our guest, Milo?
I sure will. Julie, it was great talking with her just a little bit before the show. And we don't know a lot about her, but we're going to find out. So I'd like to bring to the stage right now, Aviram. Come on out, Aviram.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, Aviram. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Aviram, me and Julie feel like we're the most blessed people in the world. We get to talk to founders every day, and we try to find out a little more about them so that we can introduce them to other founders. So let's start right from the beginning. Where were you born? Your parents, your family, your children? If you can give us a little on that.
Okay. I'm born in Heidelberg, Germany, which is a fantastically beautiful university town in the middle of Germany. And my parents came here after the war, and they are both not alive anymore. I have one sister. She lives close by in Mannheim, which is not far away from here. I'm not married. I was never married, and I have no kids and no grandchildren. So sorry, Milo, I cannot talk about this here. I hear you often.
Okay, well, sorry, I don't know why I thought you had children, but great. Well, I'm sure you've got a lot of friends and people that you call children around the world.
Exactly. Actually, I do. I know so many people, and many actually gave me also their children to take care of. So I was a mommy. And once I was also running a group for just where we adults can become children. So I was always surrounded by children, and my own inner child is there. So yeah.
Awesome.
But not physically.
All right.
That's fantastic. Aviram, I know that you spend a lot of time in India, like 30 years. Tell us about your experience in India and what were you doing in India?
Yeah, India, it just came to me. I joined a spiritual community in '83. First, I lived in America for 5 years with it. And then we all moved back to India, and I ended up there. I came there because of meditation, and we still have a beautiful meditation resort. And yeah, first I came just because of that, but then I also fell in love with the country. I fell in love so much with the people. They are so natural and so open. And me being a German, we are a little bit more on the serious side. For me, that was perfect. Yeah, I still live there because I just love the people. I have many Indian friends. I live in a beautiful place there when I'm there, and actually 2 places, Pune and Goa. So I have spent almost 35 years there.
Wow,
and if I can, I go back.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I love the spiritual world myself. So tell us a little about you facilitated meditations and hypotherapy and stuff like that. Give us a little background on that.
Okay. So originally, actually, I was not so much interested in meditation. I went there because the people were so happy and they were building up a city in Oregon, by the way. And then I discovered the world of meditation because these people were meditating while working, and we had meditation programs. We also had therapy groups, which I attended because originally I had studied psychology. So that part was very interesting to me. So, and then meditation entered, and I just like that space. I like that space of self-exploration inside and the silence which comes with it. And the disidentification from the craziness of the mind. The mind is not running the show 24 hours. At least you can get yourself into a little break and just learn to watch it. And that's so fascinating.
So I have a question. It seems like a lot of people who do meditate have their mind and their heart or their entire body lined up very well. How do they do that? I mean, I'm trying to do meditation a few times a week, and every time I get into that space, I fall asleep.
Yeah, actually, meditation, if you start with a silent meditation, may not be the easiest for us. Therefore, we got from Osho, who was a spiritual master who left his body in 1990. He actually invented a lot of active meditations, and these first exhaust the body and the energy in the body. So then you enter in a space of silent and stronger awareness. So this awareness keeps you eventually awake. Yeah, so of course you might fall asleep, but you wake up again. But with these active meditations, there is not really the time for falling asleep because the silent part is usually only 15 minutes. And once you empty your inner space, you can, after some times, automatically start to sit 45 minutes, like in the Vipassana meditation. But for us Westerners, it's not that easy. So it's better to start active and then move into the silent meditation techniques.
Could you give us a few, explorations about what's active meditation?
Okay, so we have a couple of very famous ones which are used in many meditation centers. One is dynamic meditation, and that's for 15 minutes you start breathing chaotically, crazily, standing up in a big hall. You can also do it alone at home, wherever you are. So, and for 15 minutes you just breathe in and out chaotically. And then what you awake is whatever is sitting energy-wise in your body, in your system, and you can explode. You can throw out whatever comes up for you. It can be just body movements, it can be voice, it can be anger, sadness, laughter, whatever comes automatically, and this also for 15 minutes. And then you come another stage where you jump up and down and say the mantra "Hu," and that is hitting a center inside of us where the life energy is getting freed up. And then comes a full stop. And then you stand in silence, frozen, not doing any movement. And that's where the whole thing settles and you go into a kind of wherever you go. It's a cleansing. And then comes some beautiful music to end this whole thing with music, and you dance. So that's one of the very active meditations. It's a 1 hour. They're always 1 hour meditations. There's another one called Kundalini. Many of us know the word Kundalini rising from yoga, but here the meditation is called Kundalini. You start and shake to beautiful, all is done with beautiful music. So then you actually notice when the stage changes. So in Kundalini, you shake and shake and shake for, I don't remember, I think 20 minutes. You see, I haven't done that one for a long time.
Yeah.
So you shake and shake and shake, and then there comes the beautiful music where you dance and dance and dance. And then for 20 minutes, you lie silent. You lie down, and first you sit down, silent, let the energy of the movement settle inside, and then you can lie down. That is another stage. And then the last 5 minutes is again a soft dance. So first you express with the body, so that everything that sits wherever we have so much tension in the body normally, and then also of course tension in the mind. So with all these activities, you just release a lot, and then the mind can settle and come into quiet spaces. So it's a little bit different than you go in the church, you sit down and you try to meditate. Of course you might fall asleep.
That's what
I
I
always
did
fell
for
asleep.
That's what I did for years. People say, you were sleeping. I said, no, I was just meditating.
Okay.
You know,
You know what?
but
That's what happened when I was younger. I was living in the convent, and we go inside a church for 30 minutes every day. And I just sat there, and just as soon as I sit down, probably within a few minutes, I felt sleep, and I sleep very deep, very good. And then I wake up at just exactly the same time. So I'm like, okay, it's good. I sleep in God's house.
Exactly. Beautiful.
wow. All right, let's move on to something different. I see in your bio that you love interior design.
Yeah.
Tell me a little about that. So did you do that professionally, or you just did it yourself?
No, actually, when I started to study it, I was told, come on with that, you don't earn much money. I wanted to study painting and all this thing. And so I didn't do that. So it just came to me later when I was in Pune and we did many therapy groups. I suddenly started to create everywhere, meaning just creating beautiful rooms to set up the group situation and creating flower bundles and everything like that. So that's how it started. And then I rented a beautiful house and I lived there with a couple of friends. And after some time they left and I lived there with my boyfriend for a while alone. And then when after some times other people wanted to come and live with us. So I decided, okay, so now I transform the house. So we transformed the house because the landlord gave it to us we rented and he gave it to us just for doing what we wanted to do basically and beautify it. So then the whole situation started with painting, with coloring, with furnishing. So we made a beautiful house for friends. And this since then I do everywhere. Wherever I go, I create rooms, apartments. People ask me, oh, can you do my flat? And so I go there and I change the furniture around and put the paintings here and there, and the room looks different. So it is so natural for me. I just love that. I should have studied it. I would have been a beautiful profession, but my life turned out different.
So let's move on to the topic of ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is the reason for us to create this show, and ONPASSIVE is the reason for all of us sitting together and have a conversation. So tell us, how did you hear about ONPASSIVE? When did you join, and what made you take the action and become a founder?
Yep, that is exactly 9 months ago, 2 days ago, on 14th of June last year. A friend just sent me a very short Facebook message. Would you like to earn some extra money with joy and fun? So how can you say no to that one? So I love fun. I like joy. So I called him up and I asked him, what is it? He shortly explained it to me and said, come on, you can go and visit this webinar and there you'll find out more. So I went to the webinar. I hardly understood anything what they were talking about, but they were lovely people. So I called him back up. I asked him millions of questions. He answered very patiently. He's actually also one of our webinar people in Germany, Gerd Rexhage. And yeah, and he sent me more invitations. So I went to another one. I'm not sure if I actually signed up immediately. I think so, because what I have heard was so simple and so clear to me about the products. They were exactly the products and the simplicity I always had desired. Because I was also organizing in human design for friend groups, and the organization was very complicated with simple emailing. She didn't have a good website. The whole thing was so expensive, and this and that was expensive. We started to make videos and to get the how you say, the visibility up. It costs money. This costs money, that costs money. It was horrendous. And suddenly I hear that everything is under one roof, in one package, simplified and much better quality and this and that, what I've heard then in June. I could not resist, of course, and I went into it. And yeah, and then I started to go to the webinars we founders have. I started to listen to Ash. And I go by voices. When a voice resonates with my inner system, then I feel it's good for me. And I like his voice. And also founders' voices. Like, I mean, we have so many beautiful people speaking. Yeah, when, oh my God, these voices, these dialects, the heart behind it, it's so much fun. And so, yeah, and then I started my journey.
Awesome.
Wow. That's so beautiful. That's really beautiful. You know, we all talk about ONPASSIVE. We all think about ONPASSIVE. We eat ONPASSIVE. Where do you see yourself in the next year in ONPASSIVE?
Okay. So I still see myself in this amazing community of friends I made up to now only online. So in a year, it might be very well possible that we can meet somewhere on the planet if the situation allows us without fancy requirements. Yeah, so in this I see myself with a more comfortable life, more relaxed lifestyle, supporting my friends wherever they need support. Actually, I have such beautiful friends in India, and they are also all now, my close friends are all founders now. All my Indian friends, it's amazing. And soon you will interview Chandra, and my God, it's such a wonderful community. And also in Germany, I have now quite some close friends in Germany are founders. And the same in Switzerland, we support each other. So we will meet each other. We probably go to the most beautiful places to enjoy ourselves. Absolutely. And let's see what else we can do.
Absolutely. And it's our community is so beautiful, you know, and so much passion coming out of there. Now, I asked you before that you lived in India for 30-something years. Do you speak the language?
Actually, there was never a need to learn the language. I picked it up. I intuitively understand a lot. But the talking was never necessary. Everybody does speak English in my surrounding. And the ones who didn't, I don't know, they picked up my English very easy. Now I speak a very Indian English, which is it's called Hinglish with an H in the beginning, because Hindi and English is quite an interesting way of English. It's different than American or English or other ones. And I never needed to learn it. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I can say acha, which is acha.
Wow, that's interesting, you know. But let's go back to we like to say that the ONPASSIVE is changing the world one person at a time, and it started with Ash Mufaro, and it continues with us. And when we first come in, or we first looked at it, we looked at it as it's a new extra stream of income for us, you know, and yeah, we can be happy, we can be joyous because now we've got abundance living. So two-part question here. Number one, with all those apples that are going to come in, what is that going to do for your dreams? We'd like to know what your dreams are. What is Aviram's dreams? That's number one. And number two is, now there's going to be extra apples. What do you plan on doing, and how do you plan on disposing of those?
Okay, it can be a long story now, so I keep it short as possible. So first of all, with one of my friends from Austria, we want to create a beautiful living environment where we can, let's say maybe the idea was either to buy a property with an old hotel where the whole setup is there, to make human design experimental area for my friends to run groups there and retreats. I want to add meditation retreats to that. And number three, I want to add one more thing, and that's a body healing situation. Because 3 years ago, I was quite sick, and I thought, oh, if it continues like this, I will be ending up in a wheelchair. And one friend made me aware of medical medium Anthony William, another William besides our two beautiful William. And his way of giving suggestions what to eat, which supplements to take, and it's so incredible. So I healed my body already so much. Now I run up and down the stairs like a 30-year-old, and others who are 30, they go huffing and puffing after me. So I want to have that one as part 3 in our whatever setup we will have. So we want to have a recreation center. So this is number 1. And number 2 for myself, actually, I would like to have a kitchen assistant. This is number 1 of my list because I love raw food and I don't like cooking or anything, but it is so much work to make all the juices and smoothies and and salads and these beautiful dishes. It's too much for me. I don't like. So that's, if I can afford it, when I can afford it, this is one of my first things I'm going to do. And I fix up my car, and maybe I buy another beautiful one. Let's wait and see. And yeah, and I fly business class, not economy anymore, please. This will be a big difference. So yeah. This is part 1. I probably could tell more, but I keep it short. Okay. And now what to do with the other apples, because that was an amazing development for me in the last few months to experience also how our attitude towards the apple within the community of founders has grown into sharing, and how we share with each other what we want to do. So in India, I have many projects. Already I have a beautiful friend, she's a founder. She has in Goa a beautiful school for children who normally she gets out of the slums. And then I have another friend in India, she's running a beautiful village where she actually saved girls from prostitution, and she gathered them, and they were growing up, and they already, some have gone to university already. So I want definitely to support her. In Pune, I have a friend who is very much taking care of the street dogs. So this is one of my passion, animal rescue. The same in Goa, we are taking care of the Goa beach animals, be it dogs, cats, cows, whatever. So this part I will definitely support. In Germany, there is, I'm working with homeless people because I'm also in food sharing involved. So saving the food from the garbage, from being thrown away, which is lucky, a beautiful organization in Germany via internet, so that the fantastic food is not thrown away, but we collect it and we bring it to homeless people or whoever is in need. So for the homeless people, I would like to start a project where they could maybe live. Maybe it depends on how much apples are falling into our baskets, no? So the possibilities are endless, and some restaurants had to close down, and I want to support them and whatever, you know, this direction.
Awesome. Well, the platform, ONPASSIVE gives us this incredible opportunity to do exactly what you said. And it's beautiful. I love your heart. I love your passion, helping the homeless and stuff where you can actually, feed them and give them a spot on your team. And it actually makes your bucket grow bigger. It's just an incredible idea, So I love it. But we're running close on time here. So I want to thank you for coming today. It's been wonderful talking to you, and you did an awesome job on it. So Julie, we're going to send it back over to you to take us out of here.
Thank you, Milo. Aviram, thank you so much for being here with us. I really appreciate your time, but I'm not going to let you go yet. I do have one last question for you. So many of us, especially for me, I've always talked about, we have apples, but what is good for us to have many apples, but our health is not good for us to actually enjoy the apples that we have. So my question for you, since you are very good in a way where you've had said that you are running up and downstairs and, what is the secret? Or if you could even focus on the secret that you are doing right now, or what is it that we should start to focusing on our health?
Oops, okay. Focusing on our health. So for me, it was a change in my eating habit. I needed to look into what I put into my body and what is good for my body to really function. So then I started to look, okay, do I eat enough valuable things? It's like fresh fruit, vegetables, salads. Do I really drink enough juice or water, and which kind of water? Everybody should actually very much look into that drinking habits, because we are all very, very dehydrated. And not just simple water, but with some lemon and maybe some honey in it to make it lively. Not living water is very important, and very, very good filtered water. When I lived in California, which was already for me the start of the eating more healthy, because I loved the juice bars, and just I only ate on juice bars, the sandwiches, the rich healthy food. And I stopped this heavy German food already in California, because most people eat overcooked, they eat too heavy, they eat too much grease, and then the liver cannot function properly with it anymore, cannot really digest it, and doesn't know what to do with it. The body cannot really detox anymore properly. So to look into the detoxification of the body, plus good supplements. And also mostly it's quite important to eat also organic food, and not the too much sprayed stuff, which is so much glyphosate and whatever is in there. There is quite a danger to the body, because the body cannot really handle it. Most people just don't look enough into it, and the advertisements doesn't really show. So I stopped eating processed food, and I would recommend people to look into that one. And we might be lucky with our apples that we can really afford to have the best organic food and the best from the health food stores, which are incredible in America. In Germany now they are picking up on that one, to have good health food stores, and then also to have the right supplements, but also depending on your body's condition. But there are a couple of basics like B12, zinc, which are very important for the body to take, a good vitamin C, and also to take care that there are the right ingredients in these supplements. because there's also a lot of mixing around just to make it cheaper for the company to have my profit and all that. It's quite an area to look in very closely. It's an art in itself, but it's worth to start because, yeah, it's really, really worth it. I would probably not be able to, I live here in the 4th floor, to live so easy and run up and down 10 times a day. 4 years ago, that was not possible. So I'm a living proof that this is possible and more is possible. I also had stomach problems, but it was because of the wrong mix of food I had taken before. Too much sugar, so I completely sugar is gone. I only take totally natural honey, cold pressed, super best honey. And this I do everywhere, or maple syrup, but only the best from Canada. And I also take, which is very good, is a heavy metal detox smoothie to get all the poisons from aluminum and whatever we have in our brains. The brain is functioning so much better since I do that. It's unbelievable. And it's so simple with blueberries, with spirulina, with barley grass juice powder, banana, and dulse, these little algae and stuff. It's so easy. So I can talk for this, and probably when we have our academy, I can share these things more also in this setting than later, because it has become a passion to support other people to get their bodies back in the way they could be.
So Aviram, thank you so much for sharing that. I know we all passionate about ONPASSIVE, and there are still folks that are staying on the fence. They haven't taken the action to become a founder yet. And there are folks that are founders and haven't logged into their back office. So what are your word of wisdoms to those folks?
Yeah, to the ones who are not decided yet. I mean, I don't know why they are not decided. There's so much information out. We have so many videos on YouTube, like you on the Julie and Milo show, or Red Redfern, or Michael Williams, Dr. Bill Williams. The whole list, the list is so long, and TN Grow Wealth together. There are so much information about the company, and also Bill Musk Production, I must include, where you can find out details about the company. If they say, oh, I don't know what that is, I only would say, yeah, please, there is so much information. I can give you the whole list, and I have it in my YouTube channel. I started a new YouTube channel, so I will put it all in there. And they can, like, I'm sorry, I got so hooked. I educated myself deeply, and ONPASSIVE.com, the website, has so much information. You can spend 24 hours there. And if you are not convinced, then I don't understand the world, actually. But maybe it's really not for them. And also this interview you did yesterday with Dr. Shaw, this has touched me deeply. The possibilities we have, and what type of people are in our founder community from all walks of life. And yeah, just check it out and ask us questions. I mean, if I asked my sponsor millions of questions, and he always answered so patiently, and the others, and I see that in the webinars. So there are so many webinars. People can go there and look.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Well, we're running out of time, so we're going to send it back over to Julie.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it's a much needed topics to talk about in our community. And which I have said, you know, I'm going to start another, you know, creation of ours to actually have a lot of the health coach, or, you know, like yourself, any personal experience that we could do to help our community. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate you for sharing that. I think absolutely this is much needed. There you have it, everyone. Beautiful lady from Germany being here with us. I really appreciate, Milo and I really appreciate you plug into our channel, if you would go to julieandmilo.com, there are many playlists for you to listen to. Not only that, if you subscribe to it, you'll be able to get notification every single time we post a video. We do one of these show 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. We'd love for you to plug in. So please go out and check on julieandmilo.com. Thank you so much for watching the Julie and Milo show. Really appreciate you supporting us. Give us the energy for us to continue to create these shows. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. And as always, please be well, stay safe, stay blessed, and always stay alive. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to plug in or join our Facebook group ONPASSIVE with a Heart. Thank you, Milo. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Good night from Newport Coast, California.
Good night from Heidelberg, Germany.
Good night from Nashville.
Listen to the stories and how they tell when they join and how they're doing so well, telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way on passive. Here today on passive, there's no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show, so then you can be the very first to know on passive. It's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way on passive.